this is the part where you might start thinking that he not only left a small fortune at Dior, but also his taste. And I can't blame you. Hey friends, my name is G.P.S. and welcome back. I really feel that I didn't do any serious shopping for the best part of the past year, but I am quickly catching up because I am back yet again with another unboxing, this time from Dior. I stopped by Dior the other day to pick up a gift for a friend of mine. I ended up leaving with 2 bags full of things for myself and no gift in hand. But I don't feel too guilty. I think it's fine because I at least get to share these pieces with you, but I will need your help because a couple of things I'm not 100% convinced that I should keep, so I would love to get your feedback on those pieces when we get there in the comment section. But without further ado, if you'd like to unbox some fun new Dior pieces with me, then please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and keep on watching. Let's start with the pieces that I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep. And I actually want to begin with this one because this is not from the latest collection. This is from the 21 Spring collection that Kim Jones did for Dior. And I remember seeing this when this first launched, or they first announced that this collection will be dropping. I immediately texted the person I used to work with at Dior to ask them about it, and I never heard back, which I think might be because they left the company. This had happened before, so I think I should just give up on that contact. Anyway, I knew that I would like to add this piece to my collection. They never got back to me, and I just kind of forgot about it. The collection and the hype just petered out for me. But when I was at Dior looking at their newest sweaters, the idea of them sort of just triggered this picture in my head, so I had to ask. And they actually had one in the back still. So I felt that it was a sign and I ended up going for it, which is this jersey sweatshirt that of course has the iconic Dior logo embroidered on the front. But what's special about it is that it has this divine floral embroidery around the logo itself. I personally like a little bit of logo here and there, but I need there to be a twist. I wouldn't buy this if it just said Dior, plain and simple. I want there to be something interesting and unique. So when Kim Jones took over Dior and he started coming out with these t-shirts and sweatshirts each season that featured the Dior logo, but there was something unique about them, they were right up my alley. Each season he would collaborate with a contemporary artist who redesigned and recreated the Dior logo for that specific season for t-shirts, sweatshirts, and even in some cases accessories. So his first collab I think was with COS, which I loved. I bought the t-shirt from that collection. I think he did other collaborations with Arsham, Sharf, Stussy, just to mention a few of them. I liked the first and the second, but then by the third and fourth, it just got a little bit too much for me. I don't like Dior enough to continue collecting the pieces, but I do like the idea of them. So when I saw this, I was like, I just need to have it. I love the embroidery. I felt that it was really quite special. And what's also unique about the Dior logo itself is that it's not just in one solid color. It has this almost ombre or sort of iridescent effect to it, which again just makes it look a little bit more special and more expensive. And then when it comes to the sweatshirt itself, there is really nothing too outstanding about it. It is a sweatshirt, but I do have to say that this is not comparable to just a regular run-of-the-mill sweatshirt that you would pick up for like $50, because on the side it does have this pretty interesting ribbed detail, which gives you just the slightest bit of shape when you actually put this on. So it's not going to look boxy or overwhelming, which I think makes sense. If you're paying this much money for a sweatshirt, you do want there to be details and attention put into every single aspect of the construction. So I do appreciate it. Do I think it's justified, the price for something like this? Absolutely not. But when I saw the attention to details with the embroidery and how incredibly beautifully it was done, I just couldn't leave it there. Because I feel if this floral embroidery was on a women's piece, this would probably be twice or maybe even 3 times the price. So I had to pick it up. I like it. It's just one of those pieces that if you're not in the mood to put too much effort or thought into your outfit, you can throw on a pair of jeans, throw this on top, and you're good to go. One thing that I didn't mention about this sweatshirt is that each season when they come out with them, I think the cut slightly changes, but they are sort of just in between being oversized and form-fitting. They are kind of loose. I think that's the best way of putting them. They're not going to be large and dropped, but they will feel comfortable and kind of loose on the body, which I think is really flattering on most people. So if you're looking for a new sweatshirt, that is a great one to look into. But speaking of sweatshirts, of course I had to pick up another one. And again, this, similar to the previous design, is one that Dior recreates each season. This one at this point, I think, has become a classic. The only thing that really changes is the colors that they come in. But the next piece I picked up is the so-called, I believe they call this the CD Icon sweatshirt, which at first glance would look quite similar to the previous piece. But when you actually try them on and feel them for yourself, they are completely different. And I ended up going for the purple colorway, which is surprising considering that I wear black 99.9999% of the time. But that's exactly why I went for purple. I don't think I have anything purple in my collection. Maybe something navy that has the slightest hint of purple undertone to it, but definitely nothing quite as colorful as this. And black is one that they have every single season, so I thought I should pick up something that is a little bit more seasonal. So I ended up going for this one. And even though they call this a sweatshirt, it's not quite a traditional sweatshirt. It feels a little bit more like, it's like something in between a t-shirt and a sweatshirt, which I really appreciated. I felt that it was a lot more versatile that way. What really caught my eye is the fact that even though it has the Dior logo on the front, it doesn't scream and shout Dior like the previous piece, but I love the idea of it. This is something that they do every single season, so you always find it in the collection. And I really thought that it was reasonably priced for the quality and for the fit. So if you're looking for a new sweatshirt to add to your collection, something that you can definitely wear on a regular basis, check this out. Moving on to the next two pieces. These are the ones that I'm not convinced about, so I would love to get your feedback in the comment section. Please let me know, yes, no, should I keep them, should I not? But let me tell you why I'm not sure about this first piece, which is a chunky, heavy knitwear piece, which are things that I just have a soft spot for. We're going into summer and into the heat, and I'm still buying sweatshirts. I don't know why, those are just the things that I enjoy purchasing because I find them to be a great investment that I can truly take advantage of. And this is a piece that I really feel would fill a gap in my collection because I don't have anything quite like it, which is this super heavy knitwear piece in this ivory color with the Dior Oblique embroidery going all over it, knitted into the fabric. And the reason why I was kind of intrigued by this, let's just put it that way, is number one, I do like ivory, but I don't have too many pieces in this color. Most of the knitwear pieces that I have in off-white or ivory are really simplistic. This, on the other hand, is quite in your face. But actually looking at it on the viewfinder, just to give you a more accurate picture, it does look a lot harsher and louder than it actually is in person. By no way I'm arguing that this is subtle in any shape or form, but in person, it just looks a little bit softer than it does on camera. I think the contrasting colors make it come off just louder and more in your face, which is kind of the reason why I wasn't the biggest fan. I like the fact that it's in ivory and I like that it's a more colorful print, but that's also the reason why I'm hesitant to keep this, because I don't know if I would ever wear something that is quite, hey, I'm here, I'm wearing Dior, look at me. Even though the first piece I showed you has Dior on the front, because it's in a darker color, I think it's more balanced out, whereas this is just popping all over like a pop rock candy. So that was number one that I wasn't the biggest fan of. Even though I love the idea of it, I'm just not sure if I would actually wear this on a regular basis for me to pay this much money for a sweater. And then the second reason is actually the sizing. So the fit on these is so weird. I ended up going for medium, which is usually my size in Dior. But medium in this particular style is huge on me. And I actually asked if they had a smaller size, but I was told that it wouldn't matter because they look virtually identical to the human eye, no matter what size you try on. So I tried medium and then I also tried large, and they looked nearly identical. I mean, you couldn't see the difference. And these are not large in terms of size, but there's just so much fabric in these pieces that it almost feels like you just wrap some drapery around yourself. There's just a crazy amount of fabric that goes on in here, and because it's already so heavy, I think it would kind of overwhelm you. So I asked if this is something that could be tailored, and I was told that it could be tailored, because one thing for me to point out is that the way that they matched up the Dior and the way it was knitted is not as perfect as it should be. Usually if you buy a knitwear piece that has a monogram or something like this all over it, they can tailor it for you, because it's very difficult that if you take out a little bit of fabric from here, a little bit from there, to match up the oblique or the print perfectly. Well, from the get-go, you don't have a perfect pattern here, because if you look here, the Dior is cut off. If you look on the side, the Dior isn't perfect either, which I was a little kind of let down by. I don't think it looks bad or it looks cheap, but that is something that I was like, oh, okay, I'm paying attention to this from now on when it comes to Dior. But on the other hand, it is great because it could be tailored, and it means that it can be just tweaked on the sides, which is something that I could do. I just don't know if I want to. One thing that I did consider is turning it inside out, which I know a lot of people do with Dior knitwear pieces. And I actually think it would solve my issue with the color being so just bright, but I would still have to get it tailored. So I have to give it a think and a try that way, but it's still something that would need quite a bit of work in order to fix the issue with the shape. But if you have any feedback for me, maybe if you own a Dior piece or if you've purchased any one of their knit pieces in the past, and if you have any experience to share with me, whether you love them or hate them, please do let me know in the comment section. And last but not least, this is the part where you might start thinking that he not only left a small fortune at Dior, but also his taste. And I can't blame you. These are the sort of things that are so ugly that they start looking cool in a way. I just can't decide which way it leans. Does it lean towards being cool and chic, or does it lean towards being just frumpy and flat out ugly? I can't decide. So I would love to get your feedback, but I would like to ask you to wait until I actually put them on for you, because they look very different on the shelf or just me showing them here for you than they actually look in person on you. There is something to them once you actually put them on, so I'm excited to hear what you have to say. But these are a pair of shoes from the Dior men's collection, and they happen to be from the same season as the floral sweater that I showed you. So they showed me these because they knew I liked that collection, and this was the shoes. I think these were the shoes that were styled in the lookbook with the entire floral collection, which they had t-shirts, shirts, and even hoodies of. So I saw them, I thought that they were hideous. I tried them, and I kind of fell in love. I don't know, I'm kind of falling in and out of love with them. So I'll need your feedback. But without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox these. So of course they came in the Dior shoe packaging with the box. And then on the inside you have how many dust bags? 2 dust bags. They give you 2 dust bags, which is something we love. We have a little care card and then some spare laces. So with Dior shoes, I really never get on too well with them. I either struggle with the sizing or the comfort. Even though I like some of their silhouettes and their styles, the comfort level is never there, I should put it that way, or I cannot find the right size. But with these, it was a different story. So we have the tissue paper here. And then, are you ready for this? I don't want you to faint, so maybe sit down before you see them. But I ended up picking up these hybrid shoes from Dior that are kind of like a sneaker, but are kind of like a desert boot. I'm not quite sure how to explain what they look like, but these are basically it. So they are made of black suede. They have the Dior Oblique on the front. And then what's really special about these is the sole. They have this really cool stacked sole that almost reminded me of the soles that Stella McCartney used to do. I remember when she came out with those stacked sneakers, they were so cool. They were only available for women. And they're not the kind of shoe that I would have ever considered. But every time I saw someone in them, I always thought they looked beyond flattering. So that's what they kind of reminded me of, and perhaps that's the reason why I ended up picking them up. And also the fact that when I tried them on in the store, they felt like walking on clouds. Because you have this super thick, chunky sole, it just gives you all the bounce and all the softness that you need. And I do have to say they did look really flattering on the feet. I don't know why, I don't know how, because I get it. They look frumpy, they look ugly when I show you them here. But in person, there is something to them. So I'm torn. I do think that these are the ones that I'm going to keep. I'm not sure about the knitwear piece, but I am leaning towards keeping these because I think these would be a special addition to my collection. I really don't have anything quite like these because I'm just not a big shoe person. I like shoes that I know I'm going to wear, and then the ones that I don't, I just simply don't buy because shoes just don't get me excited. But I feel that these would add a unique facet to my collection, so I think these are going to be a keeper, but let me know what you think about these in the comment section. And this actually completes today's Dior unboxing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you let me know your feedback in the comment section, I do really appreciate you. And I'll be sure to let you know what I keep, what I take back. If I take back anything, I'm leaning towards keeping the shoes the more I think about it. But I will have to go back to Dior because I still need a gift for my friend. And then I also want to have a look at their new micro bag range. If you haven't heard, I posted about this on my Instagram. They came out with this new line of bags where they basically reinterpreted some of their most iconic bags. So styles like the Lady Dior, the Saddle bag, the 30 Montaigne. And they turned them into micronized baby bag versions, which are just the cutest thing. They are up there in price. They're not for the faint of heart, but they are adorable. So I do want to go and have a look at them. I'm not planning on picking any one of them up, but if you'd like to see a review on those, let me know. And that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.